Let's play a little game. Which of these four is a fake? This one? The second one? The third one? Or the fourth one? Now let's flip them up one by one and see which cards these are. So we have here a unlimited forest, and it is a real card. I'll go into the details why this is real and which one isn't in a sec. This one is another basic land from Unlimited with a printer hickey. It's just misprinted. Nothing too exciting, still real. Then we have card number 4. This one is the fake, which is a Japanese polluted delta in foil. It looks newer, more shiny, and is one of the things that people are worried about, that these shiny finish they do these days might at some point be indistinguishable from fakes, but I don't know. This is a Underground Sea from Unlimited, but it's fake. Even though it's signed, it's fake. And I had a recent video where I opened this excitedly, announcing that this would be my newest, most expensive card, and it turns out this is worth like 50 cents or maybe as much as the signature from Rob Alexander is, even though I've heard that he signed so many cards that cards unsigned by him are worth more than him signing them. Anyways, yeah, this is the fake, and there are different ways how I noticed that within not even a second, and I will go into detail in this video on how I do that. One of them is feeling the card, which is a thing that I cannot transfer through the video. But we're gonna compare the card to other fakes. We're gonna look closely into the printing pattern as well. I'm gonna show some pictures because I think the video camera cannot pick it up quite as easily. Gonna tell you what things you should be looking out for. So yeah, let's go into it. So I did not until today, and still today, don't own a unlimited dual land. Things I would tell you to do in the very first place is compare them to the same card. So if you have a second, in my case, Unlimited Underground Sea, which you know is real, maybe you pulled it from a booster pack, maybe you bought it from someone who opened it in a booster pack, someone you trust, compare that second card to the Underground Sea. I don't own a Underground Sea, I wanted to own one. I own one from Revised, which is a little lighter in printing and can kind of be compared, but not as easily, since there are differences. For example, in the printing quality of Revised, all these cards have a lighter printing, and Underground Sea from Unlimited has a darker saturation on the card stock, so that wouldn't be the best way to compare it to, but you could compare it if you don't have a dual land, a second one in my case, from the same set. You could compare it to a basic land from the set and look very closely, and then you would see that there's something fishy, like the way that the printing pattern looks, for example. I think I'm gonna show some pictures where I tell you what to look out for. So you want the printing rosettes to be easily identifiable and not as washed out as they look on the fake card. You could buy a jewelless loop as well and look at the L on the green dot, which is something I do not have and do not need actually, since I haven't seen any fakes that fool me after playing like 23 years now of Magic the Gathering. I can feel a card is not real by the plasticky feel of the card, but also by the quality of the printing on the card itself. The fact that the person who sold me this card told me that they played this card at tournaments and no one said anything, that they wouldn't be legal, shows me that there are enough people who can be fooled with cards like these, and you tell them, well, it's a little used, but I guess it's still fine, it lies flat, so it's okay that I play it, and they don't notice that these are not real. And yes, judges are not taught to identify fakes, I think, I don't know. But that's not their job. Their job is to judge if there are misplays or rules questions, not if a card is real or not. So, printing pattern is one way to find that. I said already, feeling the card already tells you like a difference. It feels a little more sticky, more plasticky. Another way to do this is with a little scale, which at least has one decimal place after the comma, so you can see how heavy or light it is. Normally fakes are a little more heavy than real cards, so a real card would normally weigh like 1.7, 1.8. Let's see about this one. So 1.7, we can check the second one here as well. What's that weighing? 1.8, okay. And then the fake, in my opinion, would weigh like 0.2 more. Let's see, 0.9. So that would be another way to identify that this card might not be as real as some might think. You don't need a scale like that, but if you have it, it's another way to identify if it is or not. And the more tests it fails, obviously, the more sure you can be that it is not real. If you have a scale, weigh it. If it's heavier than a normal card would weigh from the same set again, then your suspicions might be real. Foils obviously should weigh a little more, right? So this might be 1.9 or 2.0 even. Yeah, so this is 2.0. So keep that in mind. So if you have a fake foil card, they would weigh a little more even. So this is a real card that the person also sent me with the fake dual land. And I don't want to assume stuff. I just assume that they are honest, and they told me they didn't know about the card being fake. They bought it from a store apparently, and the store closed like 7 years ago, so they don't have a way to get their money back, which sucks for them. I was lucky enough to buy it through eBay, so I am protected by the eBay buyer protection, so I can get my money back, and I am in the talks of getting my money back with the person, and they are very cooperative and they're taking the card back, so I'm not going to keep this. This was originally the idea, but now they want it back, and then I will receive my money back. They sent me this bonus card here, which is a little more expensive if I'm not mistaken. And this was a bonus of like, thanks for the nice deal, here's a bonus card. And then I realized this was a fake when I received both of them, but interestingly enough, this is a real card. I checked it and it did not hit any of my flags. So there's that. Keep in mind, people who might want to scam you, again, I'm not saying that the person who sent me the cards tried to, but they might be like, hey, you want a bonus card? There you go, it's a nice thing, so maybe forget that it's fake, or look at the shiny stuff and not too closely at this one. Kind of like that. This could happen. It's really nice that the person allows me to keep this card, so I'm going to put it into a deck probably, but the Underground Sea will go back to its owner. What else can you do? There is another thing that you can do if you have more fakes, like for example this flooded strand. Is it real or fake? And I can tell you with 100% confidence that this is a fake that I received years ago, and I was able to keep it. And it was a great deal, which is another way that you can identify if it is a fake, by seeing that the card was sold for lower than market price. It doesn't have to be much, but if it's like 20-30%, maybe you should be a little more concerned, or make sure that it is real. Maybe buy it in person if you can, or buy it with PayPal goods and services, just to be on the safe side if you're spending a lot of money, that you are able to have like a safety net if it is not real. In my case, I did not buy it with goods and services. I can tell the story of how I got this fetch land and many more. I have multiple ones of this one. And what the story was here, let me know in the comments if you're interested in this kind of rambling story time. Again, what I noticed is this plasticky, kind of also like sticky feel when I go over this card. It should weigh more also. I also didn't check this, so this is live me checking a card. 1.898, okay, so between 8 and 9, but it's settled at 8, so there's that. So maybe you would say, maybe it's real. I don't know, it's 0.9. But you also notice that the printing is kind of washed out, you know, and the back of the Magic card looks kind of orangey almost. Like, this is another newer card and it's not as lightly printed or orangey as the real right one, which is this card. And again, the printing quality of this card compared to the Underground Sea is very similar, washed out, and not really any rosette patterns on this fake flooded strand. Now, another thing that you can do, and I'm dimming the lights here and making the room real dark to get some better way to do a light test. Let's also switch off the light on my screen here. And let's get a flashlight in here. Now, what you can do with this, just a normal regular camera phone flashlight, is you can take the fake Underground Sea and place it over the light of the smartphone and just look through the card, and what you can see is that the light is having trouble to really go through the card. It's like very dark-ish, and you see maybe, I don't know if the camera picks it up, like some black, I don't know, lines in there. Like, it's not clear to read through the card and the back side of the card, even though this is the front side of the card that I have in the front. Now let's compare it to the Unlimited Island here and put that over the flashlight, and you can clearly see through the card. Like, the light travels through the card without any problem. And this is another indicator of this Underground Sea being a fake card. Let's do that with the flooded strand as well, which I said would be another fake. And you can clearly see that the light has trouble traveling through the cardboard, which is a fake, not real Wizards of the Coast cardboard that has been used. One more with the real one, the forest maybe. Again, the light has better ways of traveling through. You can clearly read through the card without much problem. You can see the back side here through the card. It's really easily readable. Okay, let's get the natural light in here again. Okay, here we are again. We'll come back to the sunny side. Another thing that you can do to identify fakes, which I noticed works quite well most of the time, is that the black ink is added last to the card stock itself. So Wizard prints all the colors first and then the black ink onto the card at last. And interestingly enough, the black ink does not really have any rosette patterns, it's not really pixelized. I will show a picture again comparing the Magic Sea, which is another thing that I like to do, of these two cards. And what you will notice is that the Underground Sea actually has like a rosette pattern on the black ink itself. So if you look at the Unlimited Island, you will see that it is printed through and printed last therefore, and the fake card was printed in one go. Like, it was just printed through, and they, I don't know, forgot, or well, that is their way of printing. They didn't print it through, and the black ink gets a printing pattern instead of a print through. Now, what do you do when you receive such cards? I hope you paid with some protection. Either you received the card first and would pay after, and you're honest enough and pay it back and actually pay when you receive a real card, or well, you tell them it's a fake and you will not pay the money and just send them the card back, or the like. Hope you paid with goods and services PayPal, which has like a buyer's protection. Don't use that too often because that also might seem fishy, but if you have a clean profile, PayPal will usually decide in your favor, because it's not a thing that you do very often since you don't buy fakes every day. Now, if you did not pay in any way with these options, if you just bought it off Facebook without protection, randomly off Craigslist, ask them, tell them it's a fake, and tell them you can't do anything with it. So you want your money back. Maybe they will tell you the story, how they got to it, and hopefully they are cooperative and understanding. Now this is actually the reason why I made this channel. This was the original idea of me creating CardboardTutor, which was me receiving fakes over the past months, years, and I wanted to film my opening so people can see, yes, I received it from them. I didn't swap out cards and told them, look, there's a fake. I don't know where it came from. Here's your card back, and I sent a fake and keep the real one. No, that's not what's happening. I'm opening your letter and there it is, just like you sent me, and the letter was sealed. I do, obviously now that I have a YouTube channel, I don't show the addresses. I do that off camera. That's my editing style, that I throw it onto the playmat and it plops open, but in the background I show the seller's address, then open the letter and see what's inside, so that it is documented and they know that I'm not doing or pulling anything off. Which is another thing that I would tell you to do if you are buying expensive cardboard and you think it might not be real or whatever, or just want to be on the safe side. Film it, show the address, open the letter and see what's inside. Then you have another proof, if it is not real, that is the case and the card came from inside the letter package or whatever. And the fact that I started filming these videos of me opening my letters and showing fakes or not fakes was the initial idea of this channel, just filming my mail times and making sure that I don't receive fakes. Funnily enough, 2.5 years later, up until last video, I have not received any fakes. And actually the post of the person, the pictures that they took were kinda weird, kinda not really sharp. And the back was what was kinda messing with me. Like I wasn't sure. The back was kinda clean and the front was kinda wiped off, like it was slid onto the table to make it look used. They told me there was water damage, but normally water damage would mean that the card is wavy in a way. So I think the damage actually was done by wiping it on the table or whatever floor to make it look a little older and used. And I don't know, they forgot to do the back side. Normally the back is worse because you slide it on the table, and the front is normally not slid on the table at all, which is another indicator for old cards. You see newer cards are normally kept minty, and they are fake, but with old cards you want to make them look like they're real. So yeah, at some point I thought I could upload these videos, and now 2.5 years later I finally got another fake and I'm able to send this card back, get my money back. Sadly, I do not own a newest, most expensive card, but there is a dual land coming up on the channel in the upcoming days, weeks, whenever I'm uploading this. And which will not be the most expensive card that I own, but there was another deal that I found and I got this dual land instead. So my revised Underground Sea will still stay in my collection for now till I find another deal for a actual real Underground Sea from Unlimited, so I can upgrade it for my Unlimited set cube. And now I want to hear from you, like, what are your ways of identifying fakes? Do let us know in the comments, share your knowledge so people who are unsure if they received a fake have some more options, maybe better even options that I presented here. Let me also know if you noticed the fake in the beginning, which of them was it? If just by looking you actually noticed. And most importantly, if you learned something today, if that was helpful, do leave this video a like, watch another video, subscribe to the channel. This all really helps building our community here of people just being nice to each other, helping each other in this regard, and sharing their knowledge for people who seek it. Now, I wish you a beautiful day. Be kind to the people around you. Do your due diligence on cards like these. Always be careful and vigilant. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.